Hi, everybody! Let's try that again.
Hey, guys, welcome to another episode of Backwoods Brothers. I'm with my man,
Tony.
And I am Joel. And thank you for joining us again tonight for another show of shit.
Another show of shit.
Sorry.
Wow.
I can't use my naughty language.
No. That would be S asterisk T, okay?
Actually, you only need one asterisk.
Just for...
There's
4 letters in the word.
I know. It'd be S...
Asterisk?
It'd be S...
Wow. Okay, we have a full show for you today. We won't be talking about how to cuss in...
if you put an asterisk in there, it'd be S... Asterisk.
Asterisk. Hey guys, welcome tonight. We are glad as always to come at you every week. We need your participation, folks. So step right up, get on your computers, get on your tablets, and interact with us.
Yes, comment.
Normal.
Comment. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Share,
Yes.
tell your friends.
Yep.
Get on this rooftop, shout it to the planes.
Right. You know what? Bullhorn. Dude, you
can wear a shirt that says it.
So, tell me something really fast. What's going on for you this week?
I had lots of work.
Yeah, that's the story of your life, isn't it?
Yeah, and the city stuff and very long meeting.
Right. Oh, yeah. I went to the city thing. I learned a couple
4 hours.
Yeah. I also came up with a new idea for a committee.
Oh yeah, what's that?
I won't say it.
Is it the High Council?
High Council. Hey, if you live locally here in Estacada, we definitely have some interesting topics that come up in City Council.
We've been watching the last one.
They get a lot of stuff done. I almost said shit, but they get a lot of stuff done. They really do.
Yes, we do. It's a long meetings, but it's good.
Yes, and some of our councilors are creative in committees that they want to actually have.
Yep.
And so, anywho.
By the way, if you are local and you are thinking about running for city council, the positions are open right now. They just opened them up, and you can put in the application for them.
Yes. Also, the safety committee?
Yep, the safety committee. Thank you. The safety committee is also looking for people. If you are local and you want to be part of the safety committee, go ahead and jump in onto the city website, cityofestacada.org, and you can see what the qualifications are for that.
And usually, guys, it's the ones that should run for those offices that talk the most and have the most ideas, but they talk to the wrong people. Yep. So it's best to get on these councils, make your presence known, and talk to the people that can get things done.
Yep, and the qualifications for all those offices are you have to basically be breathing and live in the city.
You have to live in the city and
for
breathe.
At least a year.
Yeah, you could put two sentences together, though, because you guys are pretty damn smart. Like, I have to honestly say, going to city council meetings, you guys, you alone, but you guys are really, you ask the questions that are relevant. You want to stay above board, so everything is ethical. So there's a lot. It's just not. It's much more than.
It's
just
about
reading.
Transparency, accountability, and keeping the people aware.
Absolutely.
But speaking of that,
which is very rare.
Yeah, I know. Speaking of keeping the people aware and above board and transparency, did you know that Oregon, over the last 2 years, has had something called the Healthcare Insurance Task Force?
Started in 2019.
20
or 19?
Yeah, I think it's 19.
19?
No, it might have been early 2020. It was right around the same time COVID came.
Yeah, this was already in the
and they did it completely under the radar.
Yep.
And what they had a whole bunch of different people on it too. I think it was like 20-something people on it. There was representatives, there were people from the industry in there, and there's just a whole conglomerate of people. And they have been discussing about the healthcare issues here, but they haven't been discussing of how we can make it better by respecting people's rights and people's need for proper medical care and things like that. They've been trying to come up with a plan on excuse me, it's in my throat. How to create. That's hard to get it out.
Right, you want to socialist. So bad, you just want to cough it out.
I couldn't even say the word socialist. It's killing
socialist.
Me. Socialist medicine here in Oregon.
Yep. How does that look, Joel?
It was absolutely atrocious. So if they're looking at by September, they are going to try to put out a bill out, and if this bill is passed, it would literally outlaw all the other insurance companies in Oregon, so they couldn't compete with the state insurance. Everybody would have to be on the state insurance. The employers would no longer be able to charge money to get you private insurance through employers. You'd have to have only the state one. If you make $50,000 or more, your taxes will go up by 15.5% on top of everything else you're paying. And you will basically be subjected to this care. What that also means, here's some things they're not saying. So currently right now in my check, when I get paid, I have a certain amount of money that comes out every paycheck, and that reduces my income because it's pre-tax, and that's why I pay for my healthcare insurance, okay? Mm-hmm. That pre-tax helps to lower what I pay for taxes because actually over the month, it bumps me down into a lower tax bracket, and it's deductible and stuff. So what they want to do is they're going to go 15.5%. It's not going to be a 15.5% of what you make now. They're going to add back in all the money that you pay for your healthcare insurance. So that's going to bump it up to some people $600, $800, $1,000 a month or whatever it is. And then they're going to tax you on that full amount. So you're going to be at a higher tax bracket for your regular income, plus this additional 15.5%. So you're going to pay a lot more taxes. Now, the tax bracket I'm in now, if they add 15.5% onto it, I'll be paying damn near 50% in taxes.
50%?
50% of my check in taxes.
50.
50%, almost 50% based on my tax bracket now. So now here's the other thing too. It gets worse. So they said they might let some insurance companies stay in in case they want to offer like an additional prescription plan, which means that the prescription plan is not even going to be good. I mean, they're obviously planning on you might need an additional prescription plan.
So supplement.
Yeah, supplement your prescription. So that means you're going to have to pay more for your prescriptions on top of that. So you're going to have all this extra taxes come out, and they're not even fully solving the issue because you're going to have to pay for the prescriptions.
Yes.
Which are some of the most expensive things people pay for.
And the major part of recovery.
Yeah, and when they have a chronic illness.
Yeah.
So it gets worse. So they said that they will be setting the wages, the price that doctors get paid across the state for insurance. Doctors can't accept other insurance. They can only accept the state insurance or private pay. So that means that doctors who want to make more than what the state's going to tell them that they can make, basically, because most people aren't going to pay private pay because they can't afford it. So especially at having 50% of their taxes come out, so the doctors are basically going to be subjected to pretty much this insurance and this wage. So what that's going to do is doctors who want to make a decent wage are going to have to, there's talked about it right there a little bit. You can
read that, guys.
Really we'll post a link up on there for you, but you can really just search Task Force on Universal Healthcare.
Isn't that a quick summary of what kind of the timeline is?
Yeah, it talks about it. And there's something really important. And there's actually a date, I think it's coming up on the 21st or 22nd of this month, where they're going to presenting it to everybody in our county. And I think they're going to be taking some feedback and stuff. So don't miss it. You're going to want to get on there and you're going to want to learn about this because
absolutely
they've tried to hide it. And it's last minute just coming out. And I only stumbled on this a couple days ago.
You stumbled on it.
Yeah. And they're putting things out already to other counties already. And so we're not the first ones to get out. And it's like I stumbled onto it by accident a couple days ago. And there's a meeting in like 10 days or less than 10 days.
You sure this
5 days.
This didn't get leaked out? You sure that because they've already been 2 years.
The way things are set up, it was released finally.
It was released finally.
Yeah, it wasn't leaked. It was released as well. Maybe it was leaked out. Now they're saying it's released, but either way, they're putting these things out so they can talk and get feedback on it.
How does it get worse?
It gets worse. Well, the fact is, when those doctors get those wages, they're not going to want to stick around. They're going to leave the state, and so you're going to get less doctors. They're going to get tighter budgets on all of the medical care out here because they're not going to have as many doctors, they can't see as many patients, they can't bill as much. They're going to have a limited amount of money pushed in from the state, and the state is going to set those rates. So you're going to have less standards, you're going to have substandard care, harder, bigger, longer wait lines because there's going to be less doctors. And all the good doctors are going to leave the state because they want to make good money.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, and it's going to be a lot of cutbacks and things like that at these big hospitals because they can only charge so much, and they have no negotiation power with anybody else because it's going to be the same across the board.
How does it affect, if I can ask you personally?
Well, my wife has lupus. My wife has lupus. She needs She has good care for. She has a fake knee, so she has to get care of that occasionally. She has back issues, as she has lupus, fibromyalgia, and some other conditions that she has to receive care for. I want her to get the best care possible, so that she can be healthy. And she has a lot of stuff, and if it's not taken care of, it can kill her. And so in order for do that, I pay my insurance. I got the best insurance, but I pay a hefty fine outside of it too to make sure she gets the best care, because I have an option to do that. They will be taking that away, and the doctors will be fleeing the area. So we won't even, in order for us to see good doctors, we're going to have to
travel into the next state.
Yeah, and who says that next state and those doctors are going to accept our Oregon insurance? Because they're only going to pay so much, right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem too, is you won't be able to take this insurance outside the state either.
Can we go back? Is it OHP they're looking to expand?
Think of it as like OHP, the way OHP is now.
Think of it that way, guys.
But like making it forced on you for the whole state.
Yes.
And
OHP ain't that great. I'm sorry.
Yeah, OHP
ain't that
sucks.
Great.
We've been on OHP when we were much worse financially off.
Yeah.
And thank God we were able to really work hard and get our way up to where we should be. We've earned everything we got now. But
even a lot of people in my field don't take OHP because Care Oregon and all this. It's just so many hoops to jump through for so little money, and it really serves as a secondary insurance to a primary.
Exactly. And they're trying to say, oh, it'll be better, and it might be paying more, cover more stuff. You won't have co-pays to say and things like that. That's all great and dandy, but none of that matters. None of the no co-pays or whatever else matters if you don't have a good doctors, you don't have enough doctors, and you can't get the care that you need for the stuff that you actually need to be taken care of. It's already like hard to get her in to see a doctor. It takes months for her to go see a specialist, sometimes 6 months to see it took her 6 months to get into a rheumatologist because he's that far booked out. There's so little doctors as there is. And he charges a hefty fine because he can. So yes. Supply and demand.
Yes.
He won't be able to do that. So I guarantee that guy's going to book the state as soon as he finds out because of all this crap. And so it's going to tank our medical care in the state of Oregon. And you know who's going to benefit the most? People that make under $50,000 because they're not going to get that extra tax. They're probably already either not paying much for the top insurance as it is, and they're going to and those guys are probably most likely on OHP as it is. So they're going to get this.
It literally creates this.
It's raising that lower end. Yes.
No, it's not really raising. It's lowering the upper end.
It's lowering their upper end, but it will indeed raise the under 50,000. And I get that, and people argue, yes, they need it, and I get that they need good medical care. I'm not going to argue that everybody deserves good medical care.
Yes.
But I'm going to argue this is not the way to do it.
Right.
First of all, if you're going to tax somebody across the board, it should be on everybody, not people that make above 50,000, because it's not my responsibility to pay for somebody who is under that. I didn't ask for it when I was on
OHP yourself.
Well, I had OHP, yeah, but I still paid portion into it, yeah. And because you do the state thing or whatever, and that's what you can get into, I still paid for it. Even when I was unemployed, I still paid into it.
Yeah.
And so and then I worked my butt off. I have put the time into school. I've put the time in my industry. I've put the time in the job I'm at. And I raised myself up to where I make what I make now. It didn't just fall out of the sky to me. I had to work my butt off to get there.
I thought you were privileged.
Definitely not privileged. I have to work my butt off. Even in my job now, I have to work hard to keep that job.
I know you're being serious right now, but you didn't even catch the fact that I said
I heard exactly what I'm just...
Aren't we a comedy show?
I blew right over that. You got me started on that one.
I know, I got him started. Sorry, you guys.
But overall,
true.
It is something serious to really consider.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, you don't want like Barney Fife giving you your checkup. You want someone that's more like House. So.
Woo! I guess that's a great analogy there. To be continued, because actually when you dropped the story to me, I didn't know this was happening before. Not surprising though. This is not surprising.
Oh,
did this surprise you?
Do you want a state to manage your health care that couldn't even account for $1 billion on their books? That's with a B, the big B, $1 billion.
Billion. Yes.
I mean, hey, I freak out when I have a few dollars that I can't find. $1 billion of taxpayer money just gone. It really wasn't gone. It was mismanaged into different areas. They finally figured out in the books where it was.
Right.
But how do you let $1 billion go missing on your books?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and they want to manage your health care, the thing that keeps you alive.
I bet
think
there's
so.
some viewers. I hear you on that one. I bet you there's some viewers that want to weigh in on this.
Yes. Oh yeah. Let me see if we got.
What do we
comments.
got?
I'm getting there, guys. Let's see. Someone says unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, there it goes. It's loading now. Scary thought with medical. I can't stay if medical turns into a socialist construct. So, and I highly agree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. What are you looking at?
Actually, I grabbed them all. Sorry, they're real short, so I just grabbed them all.
Okay. Oh,
hey, you guys, be sure to please comment. Let us know. I want to hear some more about what you guys think about this.
Yeah, there's a lot more comments I've seen. When you posted it on our Facebook page, there were quite a few angry faces and wow faces.
Well, yeah, and it's not as many people responded to it because I don't think they realize what it actually is. Because there's a lot more words and pictures, and I don't mean that towards anything towards our viewers or anyone on here that watches us, but
no, you guys actually do engage.
Yeah, people respond to more of the picture memes and things like that than they do of the actual information. And still, maybe we need to put it up into a picture or something like that, and put something out there to get people's attention. But
what picture would describe what you just talked about? You're pretty creative.
A car crash.
A car crash.
Yes.
Train wreck.
The new Oregon healthcare plan.
But it seems like tis the state though. A lot of the decisions that are made here in Oregon just
look at this goober. You want this goober here?
I was trying. Yeah. Yes. Man, there's lots more to talk about.
Oh, there's a lot more to talk about. What you got?
Well, I think there's a word that you want to give from our sponsors.
Oh yeah, I just thought it was a little early. But hey, okay, hey, so we're
I saw the sponsor thing. Thank you, producer.
we have a lot of really good sponsors. We have sponsors for signs, food, and for lots of other things. And what our sponsor tonight that we're talking about is Whitney Signs. Whitney Signs has been a great sponsor for us. They printed things like our banners behind here. They printed our signs we have around here. They're actually going to be making for our new studio. They're going to put some signs up for us.
Yeah.
And what better to get the word out if you want to share with people about this horrific healthcare plan they're trying to put out there. They make a few signs and plaster them around your yard saying, hey, the new Oregon healthcare plan. I'm crushing cars together.
Well,
but yeah, so Whitney Signs.
Whitney Signs.
Hey guys. Yes.
Well, I was going to say to you before the break, Whitney Signs is the best. As a matter of fact, they made a sign for a couple of people that I happen to know today, and that sign is beautiful. And actually, Mary, who makes those signs, guys, she's a creative genius. I recommend if you want a sign, don't give her the idea, but don't tell her how to do it. Trust the process because it comes out beautimous.
Exactly.
More than you would ever expect. So, speaking of expectations, I was going to talk to you about our press secretary because expectations are really low there. But before I do that, I wanted to...
That's not a press secretary. I'm sorry.
Well, I want to pick up from last section. We talked about the healthcare system in Oregon. If you think that's just limited to Oregon, every state looks at how they're handling their healthcare.
Yep.
So if we don't get it right, it gets repeated.
Well, here's the thing, too, is you got to wonder because apparently on Joe's top 10 favorite governors list, he has...
Is it Kate?
He has Brown up there with little hearts around her head or something,
Isn't she on the safety committee?
Yeah, like some sort of governor safety committee. No wonder why we have people crossing the border and there's crime everywhere and no one's getting prosecuted. And, what happened in Afghanistan, he probably goes to... his one and true love, the governor of Oregon, to ask her opinion on what to do. And just like everything else she's screwed up in the state of Oregon, of course it's a great example of what could be happening with our country right now.
I wish she would throw out some really reasonable price for tents because she has a monopoly on that one.
Well, exactly. We do need a plan for the coming recession, right? But all depends. You talk to some people, they're like, oh yeah, the recession is coming, I got to get ready for that. And then people, like our fearless leader or something, it says, well, I'm not worried about the recession.
Well, okay, I'm glad you said that, because actually Biden said he was not worried. And, look, I know you hate when I read, but I got to read this part. Biden. No. He goes, he is not concerned. This is just a little section of it. He quotes this. He goes, I am not concerned about the recession. Mr. Biden told the reporters at the White House. And you
don't have to stop. You don't have to keep reading it, because we actually have a video for it, don't we?
Do we have a video?
I think we do.
Watch this.
Sir, how concerned are you about a recession, given the GDP reports today showed a contraction of 1.4% in the fourth quarter?
Look at his face.
Well, I'm not concerned about a recession. And I mean, you're always concerned about
It looks evil. Ooh,
recession.
look at his eyebrows.
GDP.
You can't see that very well, but you ever see
1.4%.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch.
Okay.
Wait, hold on. Put that back up for a second. I want to point this out. Look at his eyebrows. You ever see like the Grinch, how the big old eyebrows? Like, look when he looks down.
Given the GDP
Right, well, watch away from him to look down. It might be hard for you to see, Tony, but.
Well,
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch, and his eyebrows just kind of goes up, and then like his whole forehead gets in the same position.
That is hilarious.
Like you picture a horn just popping out.
Okay, so just in case, you were captivated by his crazy looks. I was captivated by his crazy speech. He said this, and I quote, I mean, you're always concerned about the recession, but the GOP, well, no, actually he contradicted himself. He says, I'm not concerned about the recession, but then he said, I understand that I'm concerned about the recession.
I know.
That's what he said. That's what he said. I was like, what?
Does anything that babbling idiot ever make any sense at all?
Really? I know. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah, we got to get some of those clips up where he has his great words that he makes up.
Yeah, look, I'm not concerned about the recession, but I'm concerned about the recession. And we're going to go through, and you kind of alluded to it, but later on in the show, we're going to go into some practical ways on how to prepare yourself for a possible coming recession.
Oh, and yeah, they're good overall tips to have, some good things to have.
Huh?
Sorry.
Jesus?
Jesus God?
I said
God?
the recession is coming.
The recession is coming.
It is coming.
It is. It is.
My wife and I are getting ready and planning for it.
I'm staying at your house. Hey.
No.
Hey.
No.
Hey, we'll talk about it later.
No.
Hey. Talk about it later.
We have to get all the junk out of our house first. We have so much stuff piling.
As he looks at me, we got to get the junk out of the house
I'm
first.
talking about you.
Okay, go ahead. You were trying to say something. I'm sorry.
Was I?
Yeah, you were trying to say something about the recession.
I'm sorry. I caught the Joe Biden disease.
Right. Well, are you concerned about the recession? Well, how are you preparing?
Okay, so some of the things we're doing right now is we are basically finding any way we can to cut costs. So that means that we're eating out less, we're spending less money on extra stuff. We are taking the extra things that we do enjoy, like we get stuff from like HelloFresh, we get stuff like Imperfect Foods delivered right to us. So what we're doing is we're taking some of the things, like the recipes, for example, we got from them. Or you can look up some recipes online if you need to. And we're figuring out things that we like, and then we're going to go and buy some things that we like at a cheaper price at like Winco. We're going we're going to be very more specific about what we're doing for pricing, and we're not going to basically expunge so much money on extras. We're taking that extra distance that we're doing, like we just refinanced our vehicles to lower the payments, so that we can save a few $100 extra bucks a month. We're taking that extra money that we're getting from that, and we're immediately throwing it all right into our credit cards to kill the credit cards off, so we have no outstanding debt.
That's exactly it.
So that not only removes a monthly payment, but it gives us room on the credit cards. Should something bad happen, like layoffs or something, we do have room on a credit card if we need credit cards if we need, but we're trying to get rid of those, and we're throwing them in a safe. We're basically taking the credit cards, throwing them in a safe, and we're living off just the income cash we have coming in. And if we don't have the cash, we don't get it.
Living within your means.
Exactly. And it's not just living within your means; it's living less than your means. So that means that if you have it's not a good time to go out and to do the extra construction and things on your house. It's not a good time to go out and buy the new car. It's not a good time to go out and get the new TV.
And I don't care if it's electric or not. It's not a good time.
It's not a good time. We're grouping trips with our driving to reduce our gas bill, so that we have that more of that capital.
What do you mean by grouping trips? So you're going from one place. You're trying to.
Yeah. So like if we know we have to go to go into Sandy for something, we'll make sure we can hit the store. We can hit a couple stores if we need to. If we need to pay a bill, drop out, swing to the bank, we'll do that. Visit a couple friends. We're trying to do it all at one time. If we have to go somewhere, we're trying to make it last more rather than go back and forth.
Right.
It's less maintenance on the vehicles, less, few oil changes. A couple of things we're doing is for example, like an oil change. They say they want you to do one every 5,000 miles or every 3 months. You can get an extra 1,000 miles out of that in most cases. You don't have to do it every 3 months. You can get a little bit farther out of your oil change. Save yourself a little bit more money on there. Or do it yourself is much cheaper.
You're talking about live frugally.
Yeah, and so basically, it's if you don't need to spend it, then don't. And using that extra money that you get from that, you can put some away for cash on hand, but the rest of it you want to pay off any extra expenses you have during the month. For example, credit cards. If you have like you're paying on maybe you bought a mattress or something, you want to pay on a mattress, pay that off. If your car is close to being paid off, it's trying to pay it down real quick so you get that. It's getting those extra bills out of the way so that if something does happen, like you do get laid off, you don't have a massive living cost. You have a lower living cost, and if you have to get like on unemployment, it can do a better job of covering that.
Now, we're not turning this into a financial show, but we need to talk about the practicals. But
exactly.
So I've heard this, and maybe you guys, I don't know if you agree with this, but pay off the smaller debt first, and then chisel off the top. What do you think about that?
Yes, yeah, it's called the snowball. I think Dave Ramsey came up with that one.
I did steal it from Dave Ramsey.
Exactly. It's
I don't like everything.
He calls it his snowball. So
yeah, I don't like everything. I mean, and you eat the chicken, spit out the bones. Dave Ramsey, I followed a little bit, and a lot of his theories work. Live like no one else, so you can live like no one else.
Oh, yeah, that's a good tip for overall. But I mean, it's other things we can do. We've gone through and we looked at our subscriptions online, and
you took off the Amazon one.
No, we kept the Amazon because we pay for Amazon Prime every year. It's actually cheaper to do Amazon than it is all the other ones. So like we canceled Netflix a while back. We canceled.
You canceled Netflix for other reasons. You know why you canceled Netflix? Because wasn't there an ad that says men can be pregnant too or something?
Oh, we canceled it well before that. We canceled it because of the Cutie show.
Okay.
We canceled way back then.
Yeah.
The Disney, obviously, we canceled that one for other reasons too. But at the same time, we didn't go immediately replace them with anything when we canceled it. So we just went through some of the subscriptions we have on Amazon, like the extra movie channels, and we cancel them if we don't need them. And so, most of our TVs these days is a cardboard box, a light, and a sheet, Riley, I want you to pretend like you're on a talk show.
Well, the cool thing is it gets the kids away from that. I'm kind of old school. We put our kids in front of the TV too much anyway. It says set stuff aside that you don't need or sell stuff that you don't need.
Yes,
Americans are inundated with junk.
Lots of stuff I'd love to sell.
We have a lot of stuff.
I have a lot of
Americans accumulate a lot do.
If you really want to get rid of it quick, honestly, go down to downtown Portland, have a garage sale on the side of the road, put some good prices on it. Go take a lunch for an hour, walk away, come back, and it'll be gone.
You said sell. Not a giveaway, and that would be a giveaway or a steal.
I said, you take it and act like it's a sale. Walk away for lunch for an hour.
Act like it's a sale. Oh, okay, okay. You don't have to go away. They'll just take it right in front of you.
Exactly. Oh, there you go.
You don't have to worry about.
It depends on where LaBelle maybe.
You have to go away. Just stand right next to it and watch it go.
Northwest Portland. It's just gone.
Just gone right there. There's some other good ways.
Take your tires in your truck too while you're at it.
Here's one. Here's another way. Pick up a side gig. What do you think about that?
There's a lot of work right now. You can go do lots of little side work and side gigs right now.
No one's working.
Yeah, there's a lot of work. We have work all over the place here in Estacada by itself. Yeah. You can go get up a lot of little side gigs. I wouldn't recommend doing like Uber right now, though.
Why? What's going on with Uber?
Well, Uber, you have to spend a little money on that gas.
Oh, yeah, DoorDash too.
You have to get a loan just to get the just to get the gas.
What are you going to do about this? I mean, with the price of gas, it's really affecting some key services.
Did you hear what Joe Biden did today?
What did he do?
Okay,
what do you do now?
First of all, a couple days ago, actually, this may have happened yesterday. A few days ago, the oil companies, a bunch of oil execs wrote Joe Biden a letter and were expressing. Well, I'm sure someone read it, but they expressed, "Hey, if you would like to lower some of the gas prices in the country and help with the oil reserves and things like that, here are some legislation that you can review to try to help reduce that without, we know you're trying to stop the oil leasing and drilling, but here's some other legislation you can do to help us with the oil refinery processing and things that are roadblocks for us that would help us to process more, right?" And instead of taking that into consideration, what he did, he wrote him a letter back and basically, in so many words, was trying to blame them for the point of everything is all this gas thing. First of all, he starts out with blaming Putin.
Well, he said the Putin price hike.
Yeah, he's tried blaming Putin. He's tried blaming Republicans. He's tried blaming, I think some COVID. He's trying to blame.
Oh no, he said since he's come, so no one was working when he came into office. But now he was responsible for job growth. No, that's called COVID.
It's called opening back up.
Opening back up. Yeah, that's what it's called.
By the way,
it
was already being opened by Trump.
Yes.
And the numbers just hadn't caught up yet.
Yeah, so he's the king of other. So,
most things done in the first 6 months, of course, except for what he pencil whipped himself there in the beginning. But most of the good numbers that come in. So, like, for example, when Trump came in, all those hardship in the first 6 months is usually a layover from the first president.
Right.
The first 6 months of Biden, all that good stuff we have for the first 6 months, minus like the oil leases and stuff like he canceled, that was from Trump.
Yeah.
And you notice after about 6 months, things really started going downhill. Zoop. Yeah, because that's everything that he started doing that's taken effect. Mm-hmm. And so, especially all those pencil whipping things. But his letter to the oil companies was basically blaming them for all the problems, saying that they're greedy and things like that, and they just need to produce more oil. You just need to process more.
Sis, where's that laughing emoji?
You just need to refine more. You just need to make more gas. And they just wrote him a letter saying, "Here's how we can make more gas. It's your all these regulations that you put in place that are causing us a problem in the first place.
Yeah.
Get rid of those, and we can make more gas." But he's saying, "You need to make more gas. You need to make it happen." Well, yeah, the guy's an idiot. He really is an idiot. He has no concept of it. All he's trying to do is play to his voter base.
Right.
But his voter base is shrunk so small. That's why he's like a 30% approval rate.
Is it 30?
Yeah, last I checked,
it was like 15.
It may have dropped more. I haven't checked in a while, but maybe last year was like in the 30%.
After you're 30, it's irrelevant. It's just like
it's like hey, after like 110 degrees and like when I was in Afghanistan, after 110 degrees, it just doesn't matter how it could be 120, 130. It doesn't matter.
It's just damn hot.
It's just hot.
It's just hot.
Things
we don't
are melting.
Look at the numbers anymore.
Yeah, the air is melting at that point. Who cares? So and it's like once you get below 30% approval rate, who cares? It's all melting anyways.
Yeah, we're getting up to midterms here though.
Yes, make sure you're out there voting. Make sure you're voting for the people that you want to make the change. And I'm telling you, so far, the Democratic Party, you've seen what a Democrat-run state looks like. You've seen what the Democrat-run country looks like. It's, $6.59 for diesel right now, by the way. Almost $7 diesel or $6 fuel price, gas. It's the tanking economy. When I say tanking economy, I mean the stock market has an all-time low. We have a recession right around the corner. People can't. There's so many jobs out there, but no one's working. Everything's crashing. Healthcare is crashing. The doctors we have a healthcare shortage. The borders are open, and people are just rushing across. Which, by the way, that just recently changed. Yeah.
Did you, real fast speaking? Because when I think about all of this, I think about the gun debate. Did you hear the latest?
What kind of BS are they saying these days?
They were able to come to some type of bipartisan agreement about, and I think it was to raise the limit of being able to buy certain guns.
Raising. Yeah. Here's the thing.
And I think stronger again red flags, but
I both agree.
We just need them to exercise what's already
exactly. They need to exercise the laws they have on the books, and in some cases, I can see the argument behind raising the age on a rifle.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you can go and sign up for the military at age 17, 18, 17 if you have a parent's permission, 18 if when you want to go, you can sign up and you can serve your country. You can be issued a weapon, you can fire it, and you can go overseas and you can die for your country. But you can't come back, you can't drink, you can't smoke, and you can't buy your weapon. What kind of bullshit is that? Now, if you're going to give a waiver to those serving in the military to drink, smoke, and buy guns, fine, I get you.
But the Democrats are saying we don't need weapons of war on the street.
Have you been to Portland? You sure as hell do. You need body armor and tanks.
Hey, whether we need it or not, they're getting it. That's the problem.
Exactly. The thing is, the things that they're not going to talk about is if you actually go and look at the actual crime statistics and the gun crimes that are actually committed, most of those are committed. I'd say it's been a while now, but I want to say it was in the 90 percentile range of those crimes were committed with illegally obtained weapons.
Yep.
They were not legally obtained weapons. They weren't somebody who went out, because if you're going to commit a crime, you're not going to go to a gun store. You're not going to buy a gun. You're not going to wait the 3 days. Then you're going to come and pick it back up. And then you're going to have it properly registered with the state, store it legally inside your safe and everything else, and then go out and kill somebody with it where it can be easily traced back to you.
The Uvalde shooting, Uvalde shooting of the kids. Mm-hmm. How did that young man obtain $10,000 worth of weapons? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a definitely
that
good
speaks
question.
to something a little shady.
Now, I will say he did go on and buy the weapons from a legally licensed dealer. I will say that one.
Where did he get the money, though?
That's definitely a good question.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, where did he get the money?
The money is part of the question, you don't know. He could have a well-off family. He could have been saving money for vehicles and just snapped. There's a lot of things that aren't known there. And so it's hard to jump to conclusions until we get all the facts.
I was heading towards a conspiracy, but okay.
Okay. You know what? Why not? Let's go to conspiracy. What you got?
I was trying to set up a conspiracy, but okay.
What you got for conspiracy? Now I'm kind of curious.
Oh, man. Come back to me on that one. Here. Saved by a sponsor, or saved by a person right here. That is why it means it is
saved by a person.
Saved by a person who's basically typing here. That is why it is so hard to do anything without saving a lot of money to do anything. No thanks to Biden inflation.
Yeah, and when you talk about inflation, your money's worth less. The inflation rate being at almost 8%, I got a 8% raise, which is twice of what we normally get in our company. We get 4 to 5% on average per annum. I get 8% this year because of my performance from last year. And it's all this with the inflation rate, flat out. It didn't mean absolute crap. Most people don't get that much raise.
Yeah.
And so that means you're lower this year. Even with the raise, their money is worth less than it was last year.
Yeah.
So,
hey, real fast before we go on, man, your chair squeaks more than Biden's bones.
hey, your chair's squeaking too.
I know. We need to put some. We don't even have money for WD-40 up in here.
Rid of some stuff. We need to get rid of some of this.
Well, just our producer wanted you to know that, and then someone said, "Yep, we do have a lot of stuff."
Yeah, stop moving your chair, Joel. I can hear tons of squeaking. You know what? Maybe I'll just stand.
Ooh, for the second half, I think we will.
Hey.
Oh, go to the next one. It's something there, brother.
We're in the second half. You know that, right? And in the independent, person running for governor, he went away, is not independent. She is a lifelong Democrat, and her whole purpose of running is to split the vote and confuse people. Yep. Yes, that's exactly what it is. And her name is Betsy Johnson, right?
Yep.
Betsy Johnson.
Wow.
So, she's been a registered Democrat her entire life, but she's running independent. So don't be fooled, guys.
Yep. Read the next one, brother.
His approval rate is dropped immensely. Do you want to keep going?
Yeah.
What actual, quote-unquote, weapons of war are legally available here in the U.S.? A lot of weapons they call weapons of war aren't actually weapons of war.
Absolutely.
I think they're trying to refer to like an AR-15. Which,
they are trying to refer to it.
Yeah, which, by the way, so the military version is the M4 carbine.
Yeah.
And the AR-15 is slightly separate from that one. We use a 5.56, and it's a 223 here. They're basically pretty dang close to itself, and but there's a little difference in there.
If we're talking about weapons of mass destruction, there are a ton of them that are other than guns.
If you're talking about like a
car,
a 50 cal or the Madu, something like that.
I was getting to other.
Or if you're talking about like maybe a AT-4, which is an anti-tank weapon, or the Javelin, which is another controlled missile. You can use guide wire to control it. Things like that.
But that's
you don't get those here.
No.
You don't get like an M203 grenade launcher. You can launch grenades and things. It's a rifle.
Yes.
It's a semi-automatic rifle. Honestly, it's the same as in a rifle it's a long punting rifle. It's the same thing. It's a semi-automatic rifle. It's as fast as you can pull the trigger.
Look, if someone wanted to create a mass casualty event, they will find one.
Yeah, here's the thing. Exactly. Look what they did over in England. They've used vehicles as weapons. They had a guy on the knife and just killed a bunch of people. Yeah. He ran over people, jumped out, and started knifing people. Mm-hmm. I mean, Cain killed Abel with a rock.
Yep.
I mean, that's just something lying around. Are we gonna? You know what? We need rock control.
Look, if we look at the psychology of mass events, they happen so fast that people go into fight, flight, freeze. Most likely, they go into freeze. You don't believe what's happening in front of your eyes. Your brain doesn't have time to process a run. That's why you're a sitting duck.
Well, exactly. And honestly, I figured out the solution to it all. We need to put us all in bubbles. We need to walk around in bubbles.
Well, I thought we were going to do that during COVID.
Well, I mean
it was getting that way.
I'm saying we'd solve COVID. We'd solve the flu. We'd solve social distancing. We'd solve. You couldn't pick up a rock.
Bubble boy.
You couldn't even pick up a rock to throw at somebody. If you did, it would just bounce off of them.
You're a genius. How would you pick up a rock?
Exactly. You couldn't even
pick up a rock.
I guess.
Hey, do that again.
Well, think about it. The best you could do is you ever see the sumo wrestlers try to.
Yes. They can barely get to the person. Oh. You make me want to say that.
But dear God, if you fall on your back, good luck.
That made me want to stand up right here. That made me want to stand up. You got to stand up too, man. All right. Huh?
Thank you.
Yes.
Cheers are driving me nuts.
Awesome.
I can't make it make noise. It ain't working.
You know what else drives me nuts?
What's that?
The fact that we haven't done our second sponsor yet. I'm going to get to it real fast before we go back into the audience things. But hey, guys, if you hadn't had a chance to look at the best pizza place in the world, why don't you take an opportunity right now to look at Hitch and Post Pizza. Born out of here from Estacada, Oregon. Watch this.
I'll do the first two. Hey, welcome back from the commercial. If you get a chance, run on down there. Check out that pizza. Absolutely amazing. Val's amazing. She's a great supporter of not only of the show, but also she's a great supporter of like nonprofits in the area, first responders, everything else. So speaking of first responders, on July 2nd, it's the first responders dinner.
It's going to be really good. Can you elaborate on that, or is it?
Yeah, so the first responders dinner is put on by Estacada Community Watch. It will be up at Hillock Burns Farms. There is 160 seats, but it's first come, first serve for first responders, and you have to RSVP. So we don't have more details yet on fully what the menu's going to be, and so they'll be putting out pretty soon here.
This is the first.
What's that?
This is the first time you've ever had an event there.
At the Hillock Burn Farm. That place is cool. It's really cool.
Very cool.
If you guys get a chance to check it out outside of just the event, head on up there. It's on Hillock Burn Road. It's Hillock Burn Farms. They have a cool little store out there. They have a whole bunch of different things. They grow a lot of stuff right there on the site. They do events out there. They do weddings and everything else out there as well.
And I don't know if you said this, but suggested donation. But don't let that stop you. But we do ask for a suggested donation, correct?
So basically what it is first responders, and they get to do a +1. Those guys are free. Mm-hmm. But anybody else in the community wants to come and must RSVP because there's only limited seating. That would have a suggested donation for the plate. We don't know what the price is or anything yet, but that'll be up soon.
Guys, you won't want to miss that. It's gonna be really
And then the next day is the carnival.
the carnival. So that's open to
Everybody, yeah. There'll be a bunch
bring
of
your cats and your
there'll be a
dogs
bunch of vendors out there,
Yeah.
and then there's going to be like carnival games and some foods and things like that, and that's all day on the 3rd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Awesome.
we were talking. So check out Val down there at Hitchin Post Pizza.
Yeah, and so those of you who are watching us across the nation, we are a local station, but yet we speak to all of you. So take time to say thank you to your the people who serve us, the people who protect us,
definitely.
the people who look out for us.
Speaking of which, I got this really cool thing.
Is that right there? Yeah.
So one of our a friend of mine and a good listener to the show here, his name's Tim.
Tim.
He actually brought this to me today as a gift. It was a gift for me, but I wanted to put it on the show because I thought it was so cool. So I wasn't in the Marines, but I respect all the services, even the Marines.
Even the Marines.
So
hey, they can snap you in half. Okay.
Yeah, good thing I can fix myself. Yeah, but the Marines here it says the United States 1775 to 1975 United States Marine Corps 200th birthday, and it says on the backside, this is from Germany. It says Schlitz, it's a beer.
Schleimer.
Anyway, so let's see if I guess I can't really see that too well because the lights are hitting it. Whatever. It's her.
It's pretty awesome.
But the reason why he gave it to me is that the Army's birthday was on June 14th.
So speaking of that, otherwise known as Flag Day, right?
Yeah, Flag Day.
Okay, so can you give us a little education, because we are all patriots here. So can you give us a little explanation on Flag Day and what's behind Flag Day? Because you said it's the Army's birthday.
Well, the Flag Day is separate from the Army's birthday. They just land on the same time, as far as I know.
I've never heard of the Army's birthday.
Oh, I have because I was in the Army.
So is this nationally known? Do we know that?
I think it's well posted out there. Actually, I'm not sure. I think most people know about this. I mean, it's usually like we put it all over the internet, for example.
Yeah.
So,
by the way,
it's not like a national holiday.
No, I know it's not a national
Flag Day is
holiday,
a
but
national holiday.
It should be.
It should be.
Yes.
Well, and there's other things that should be. We should have a Veterans Awareness Month.
I think there should be a Veterans Appreciation Month.
Yes.
And if we give a month for other stuff, I think the first thing at the top of that list should be a Veterans Appreciation Month.
Absolutely.
Because nothing else on all those other holidays matter absolute crap without that. If we didn't have the guys out there that are in uniform, getting shot at, or just flat out serving and being ready to defend our front lines, so that we can enjoy the safety
Our
that
freedoms.
we do. Exactly, in our freedom.
To be who we want to be. Yeah.
Exactly. You wouldn't even be able to express yourself if they weren't there.
Yep.
So I think when we have a Veterans Day, I think that's absolute bullshit for Veterans Day. And I'm not speaking just as a veteran. If I wasn't a veteran, I'd have the exact same
You would say
approach.
the same thing.
Yeah, it's veterans deserve the honor especially those who have served and lost a part of themselves, but even more, it's veterans deserve that honor to have that for a month. But if we can make all these other history months and pride months and everything else, the first thing that should have been on the list is the Veterans Month,
Yes.
Veterans Appreciation Month.
Yes.
And I can't be more disappointed in this country than I am now for the way that's approached.
I'm going to actually probably get ringed up the coals for this, but that's okay because I know what station I'm on. I know what Backwoods Brothers is about. But I think we should have a White History Month too. So there you go. I said it. I think we should have a White History Month. If we have a Black History Month, if we have a Pride History Month, if we have those, we need a White History Month.
The pitchforks and torches are coming at us.
I don't give a crap. I said it. There we go. Okay. There's a couple hills I will die on. So, okay, keep going.
Excuse me. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
We got a bunch of comments here. I'm sorry, guys. We haven't got to them yet. We're just babbling away. So someone says, what actual... sorry, actually, I already read this one. Are you going to get the Oregon Republic gubernatorial nominee, Christine Drazen, back on the show? Yeah, I can reach out to her and see if she wants to come back on. I think she would.
If you're watching, Christine, we want you back on because I think when you were here first time, you sang the national anthem.
We actually got video of that.
It's so memorable.
We need to take that and put that on our summer. We have a whole lot of videos, bloopers, and everything else
on Patreon.
We've been saving up. We haven't put them on Patreon yet.
Oh,
because until people want to start getting on and using the Patreon, because in order to put those videos and things out there, it actually costs us money. to put them on there because we have to host them by third parties. Anyways, overall, once people start getting on there, then we'll probably put all that stuff out there. So if you're interested if I see people start popping into Patreon, we'll put a whole lot of stuff on there, and we'll start communicating with that, and there'll be a lot of content to throw there.
Now, whoever put that out there, thanks for your approval of us. Hey, Christine is a better entertainer than we are.
Yep.
So she deserves what she gets, though. She's awesome.
Gotcha. Someone says no TV for the last 2 years. It's called programming for a reason. No regrets. Hey, got a good point there.
Yep.
So, what's the next one there, Tony?
Brother, you go ahead.
It says free Alan Sweeney.
Free
Alan
Sweeney.
Yeah, it says hashtag free Alan Sweeney.
Parents' credit card.
A parent's credit card?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really sure that actually was referring to parents' credit card. I'm kind of curious.
Huh.
Someone says Ben West will run against Sonia Fisher this fall for Clackamas County Commissioner. Can you please reach out to him and get him on the show?
Wow.
Yes, there's an open invitation to Ben West as well.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hey, is there a way to get more police presence in Estacada sooner than later? I'm going to let you talk about that.
Join
the crime is
commission.
getting...
What's that?
Join the Safety Commission.
Yeah, the Safety Commission definitely helps in that. Now, if you want to know a little bit about the law enforcement, they was discussed in the previous council meeting. I'm not really going to discuss it outside of that. Just I would say recommend watch the council meeting. They talk a little bit about from the chief of police for the Estacada area what the plans are and what we're looking at there. So
yeah,
that was on Monday's council meeting. It should be up on the city website or through the City of Estacada YouTube.
Maybe we should do. I mean, and this in every small town, I'm sure. That they have the same question about police presence. But in our specific town, crime is up, but it's summer.
Well, crime is up kind of all over the place.
It is. It is. Biden's America, yeah.
Yeah, and it is. During the summer, we have an increased crime rate just because during the winter, people tend to hunker down more. We don't have as many transients and things out here. During the summer, we get more of the transient and the crime pulling out here. People moving around a lot more. Break-ins tend to go up. So the best thing you can do, honestly, to help law enforcement, besides just getting more law enforcement, is making sure you're not a soft target. That means locking your doors, taking your valuables inside, making sure if you have security cameras that they're well known, have your alarm system. Be careful when you're opening windows at night. Don't leave your doors unlocked. Things like that.
Yeah. I'm going to say this, and I'm just maybe treading on some other thin ice, but in our small community, there have been remnants of community watches coming up, and I keep on seeing on Facebook how people want more community watches, and that's good, but I've lived here long enough to know that some community watches were branded not bipartisan. They were branded that way, wasn't true, but it was came very close in Estacada to having citizens that were responsible walking around our communities and making sure there was safety. And so I would urge Estacada to let's step off of the partisan issue of Republican, Democrat, who's doing what, and come together and actually form a community watch that is free from all that political
The mayor
mess.
of Estacada actually made a request to the chief of police during the council meeting about community neighborhood watches. And so the sheriff's office is going to try to start working with the city to get the neighborhood watches around the city in different zones, try to get them spun back up and working again.
Good. Because neighborhood and community watches are bipartisan.
Oh, exactly.
I'm stressing.
that. Yeah, exactly. And it takes everybody to involve. It's neighborhood watches, while they're initiated and they have a close tie with law enforcement, it really is just your neighbors keeping an eye out and reporting suspicious stuff.
See something, say something.
Exactly. And the police department has a way to basically teach you how to look and report and things like that and be safe about it, and gives you some program information you can do about it, putting signs up, how to teach people how to keep their house safe, things like that. It really is, like I said, it is about the people, and it can't be a partisan issue if it's about the people, right?
Right. So there you go. My wrist is dinging a lot, so that means that probably more people are talking. So go ahead, brother.
Yeah. Sorry, I am looking on here. Ben West will run again. Oh, I already said that. Ben West is a Republican from Wilsonville. He is a counselor. Cool. Someone says vote no for Betsy. No.
Betsy DeVos?
But no. Betsy.
Say no to her.
Now you said that last name. I can't get her name in my head.
Betsy Johnson.
Betsy Johnson. Yeah, thank you.
Oh, hey, my car, as pictured, can blow through a brick wall with no damage other than some scrap paint, some dings, and some broken windows. A crowd would do nothing to it.
Oh yeah, so basically saying he could use his car as a weapon and it wouldn't even affect it.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's a he. So if it's a she, I'm sorry. White History Month. LOL. Good idea, Tony.
Thank you. I will lead that.
Ding.
I will lead that.
We need like a little pull thing we can like make a bell with.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. It says more like American History Month. Ooh, everything.
Yeah, exactly.
How America was created, because we should celebrate America. All races that came together for freedom. That's what it's all about.
Damn straight. Someone said nonpartisan, I think, is a term you're looking for.
Did I say bipartisan? I meant nonpartisan. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Nonpartisan.
They should get a move on that. We should get trained to help the community from criminals.
I think it's saying we should get training to help the community learn how to stop criminals, basically, or to report them.
And someone said bipartisan works too. Yes.
Well, yeah, bipartisan, because really
it means
most
two parties
of the countries in
working
one
together.
or the other. But
Yeah.
so, and I mean, well, I'm a registered Republican, and for the city, I had to take a nonpartisan position, but I consider myself just a conservative more than anything, because there's things in the Republican Party I don't fully agree with, but I do register as a Republican. So.
Yes.
For those of you who didn't know.
So that means that you're a libertarian.
No, I'm a conservative.
I need to stop. Okay, so you ready for some more news, or do you want me to move it? Because I have some more stuff for you.
What you got?
So, did you know that another project's been worked on for 2 years, and Obama is a part of this? Isn't there a separate bunker on the west wing of the White House that is being built?
You're talking about the one under the West Lawn. They tore up the West Lawn for like 2 years, and
there's a lot of thought as to what that might be.
It was just an additional expansion of the bunker. I actually saw a report on it the other day.
The Daily Wire?
No, it was something else. It was actually one of the shows that talks more about some of the things the government does and how they spend their money, and they kind of go through those, and they're talking about the construction on the yard on lawn. I thought it would happen more than I thought it was like a while back that this happened, but I forget what it was. But yeah, there were 2 years the whole area was torn up, and they built the bunker, part of the bunker they have that's actually a nuclear hardened bunker that they are expanding and improving on it from the previous one.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So, and supposedly there's tunnels that go between like the state capitol and things like that as well.
Well, and actually right here it says Daily Wire said it could have been an expansion of, like you said, the original bunker that Franklin D. Roosevelt actually constructed.
Yeah, and so you can see if there's all the way back in Roosevelt's days, you probably need some serious upgrades.
So they've been working on it for the past 17 months, and that's all. And
I remember what it was. It was a show that was talking about the 10 things about the security of the White House that you didn't know, and
no one's talking about it.
Well, yeah, that little YouTube snippet thing did.
Wow.
There's like a 30-minute little thing on YouTube. I watch random stuff. But yeah, they're talking about security at the White House and the SAM missiles, and they're talking about drones, and they're talking about the sensors on the yard and things. But then they're talking about the barriers out front. But then it did mention the nuclear bunker.
Okay. So it's interesting that they're building that since Biden's been in office. So you might need a bigger bunker.
Well, you got to have him and all his friends, right?
I was like, does he know something we don't know? Because we're in the middle of a recession.
Yeah. Well, no, the recession doesn't bother him. He's got a bunker.
Well, it doesn't bother him, but it should bother him because he said it bothered him, but he said it didn't bother him. So there you go.
I don't think he knows. He's got to look and see if the teleprompter tells him what to feel.
Speaking of looking at things,
The press secretary.
The press secretary loves to look at her notes, so I'm going to act like her as I read this. Okay? They ask her a simple question, and this is the way Jean answers it.
Oh, I wish I would have grabbed that video too.
Oh, you didn't grab the video.
I should have grabbed the video for it. Yes,
I was totally going to set this up. Anyways, I'll set it right now. Everybody knows her. She's the new lady in the White House, and she's had several press conferences, and she doesn't finesse the crowd very well.
That's insensitive. How do you know she identifies as the lady? What's her pronouns?
You see, you get me in trouble. I already got in trouble for that. It says, after watching her for the first performance as the president's spokeswoman, this is what she reads. I'm sorry. This is taken from The Hill. The Hill says this. It says, after watching her for the first 4 performances as a president spokeswoman, only one word sums it up. Amateur.
Yeah.
Amateur.
Wouldn't the proper way be spokesperson?
Well, sports day. Okay, sports day.
Oh, sports day. I thought it was sports.
Pierre has so far shown a more informal style, as they say, less crisp, but also disarming. Is that what they call that now? Laughing at herself when she stumbles over a word or two while reading from a script.
My favorite thing is someone asked her a question if there was any new breakthroughs. I forget what the question was. But she spends like a good 20 seconds flipping through a binder to say, nope, no new updates.
Well, she lacks confidence and conviction. I'm sorry.
You think that before you walk up in front of a
do your homework
full of press, you'd at least read what's in your binder, right? Have a general idea where it's at, what's in there. I mean, at least know if there's no new updates, right? So instead of having to flip through and read what's in 20 seconds, look at a page and say, oh, nothing's new. You should at least know that there's nothing new.
No,
you may not know what it is, but
this is the oldest trick in the book. If you flip enough pages, you waste enough time. So you're just flipping pages, you're flipping back and forth. Didn't find a thing.
At least we're not circling back, right?
I wish she would circle back because I'm sorry. What's her name?
Jen Psaki.
Jen had a little bit more finesse. I'm sorry.
Do you honestly expect anything less from the Biden administration?
If it's a Titanic, take everybody with you. That's what it is. Because
this is the Hindenburg. This is not the Titanic.
It's
going down in flames. It's
going down.
And there ain't nothing to do to save it.
Well, I think she's trying to flip through her book to figure out how to answer for that. It's just like, but no.
I think he's looking for a parachute.
Watching her is kind of painful. It is. And she doesn't have really real answers. It's just kind of...
I'm waiting for someone to take some of her like they did with Jen Psaki, but take some of her press secretaries and like put like a little montage together of it, a little video montage.
Well, there is one.
Oh, I haven't seen one yet. Okay.
Yes, but I posted and checked the Facebook post, you guys, of our new press secretary trying to answer questions, and it's pretty.
By the way, guys, how do you guys like all of our meme theme? Meme theme?
Meme themes, yeah.
Meme themes. They're mean memes.
Memes.
No, how do you guys like those coming out? If you like them, let us know. We'll keep them up. If not, then let us know. We've getting a lot of responses on them, but just kind of curious people listening to us and what they think about them,
Yeah, because, when we post them, we're trying to create a space for people to laugh. We don't laugh enough, and we can't... I don't think we get inspired to change until we learn to laugh about certain things, and then we can actually change them because we know how ridiculous it is. But laughter does boost the immune system to be able to fight. So it's good.
Are you trying to bring logic behind memes?
I'm trying to bring logic behind memes, and I'm failing.
Some of those memes are not
wait. I got to read it. Let me read it first. No. So
speaking of reading, see if we got any more comments.
One more thing real fast before you go there. Are you watching the January 6th stuff?
No, I've been. That's a joke. I don't need to watch that show. That's a movie.
That's a movie.
That's a movie.
Fit for TV movie.
Yeah.
Netflix that you don't have.
I don't watch bad comedies. Someone says, of course they need to enlarge the bunker for Biden trying to start a war. Well, they started 2 years ago.
Hey, why don't you stop popping off?
So we have some gear called the Pissed Off Patriot gear, right?
Yeah.
It's we call it the Pop Squad. So if you happen to buy our Pissed Off Patriot gear, that means you're part of the Pop Squad. It says it on every sleeve and everything else. And we just put a whole bunch of new stuff up. So you can actually, if you look at our Facebook, you'll see it right there on the left-hand side. We got cups, we got mugs, we got all sorts of different things. And while our commercial we're going to show you in a second doesn't show it all the new stuff, you really got to go because we're adding new stuff on a consistent basis.
Yes.
Like Choke the Woke.
Yeah.
No, don't physically go choke someone that's woke.
No.
That's the idea of just stopping the woke.
Just wear the shirt.
Just wear the shirt and enjoy it.
Yeah.
And if someone tries to take you seriously, I don't laugh at them.
Yeah.
So someone says the Biden administration is like the Titanic and no lifeboats at all. Yep, I completely
Very
agree.
true.
And it really pisses me off. So let's just take a look at this. Pissed Off Patriot.
Woo!
Hey,
pissed off?
what's that?
Are you pissed off?
I'm a very pissed off patriot, and I actually have some of the gear, and actually pretty high quality gear. Really, guys, cups, mouse pads, even. I mean, we have all sorts of different stuff on there.
Wow.
But, the more I read about it, the more it pisses me off. That's also why I don't watch January 6th stuff, because it's absolutely just the stupidest thing ever. They're trying to distract people before the midterms.
They're trying to bring They've been trying to bring criminal charges up on Trump for
bring it up
a
on him.
long time.
There's no way to bring criminal charges on
Yeah,
it.
if it wasn't Stormy Daniels, it was something else. It's like they're going to keep trying.
Well, people are accountable for what they say.
Yeah.
Nothing that they've said in that trial is new.
Right.
They try to make it look like it's all new and fresh and shocking and everything else. Nothing they said is new, and they couldn't do anything with it before. They can't do anything with it now. All it is a distraction of what it's actually happening right now in our with our Congress and coming up on the midterms and trying to get people off the view of what's actually happening there.
And they're accusing Trump of inciting. And I got to tell you this. Let's just entertain that fact, okay? How many other? What's that lady who's like Tales from the Crypt, the black lady, politician, wears the crazy hat, has the crazy eyes, and she went and said every person should go out and accost press secretary for Trump. Everybody should go out and what is her name and why can't I remember it?
I'm actually enjoying trying to remember.
You like that?
Yeah.
What is her name?
Joanne Hardesty.
No, not Joanne.
Joanne Hardesty, the local one.
She
She looks like a.
yeah, the Tales from the Crypt. She has the big eyes.
Well, she's on our
Chicago
Facebook.
chick.
Yes, the Chicago chick.
She's on our Facebook. If you want to go look at the picture real quick, Brandon.
She is on the Facebook. Yeah. But she goes out and she says, make sure you make your presence known. And as a matter of fact, didn't one of Biden's cabinet say go and protest in front of Kavanaugh's house? He didn't incite anything, but wasn't there someone who attempted to?
No, it was
do something?
Biden and people in his administration all actually encouraged people to protest outside of a judge.
Yeah.
The judges,
And Kavanaugh was threatened.
Well, I mean, it was multiple different judges. They said go out and protest in front of these, even though it's actually against the U.S. Title Code, something USC something. They named it like 17 something, I think is what it was. It's actually an actual law that you can pull up and look at, and it says it's illegal to go out and protest in front of a judge's home.
Yes.
With the intent of trying to dissuade a decision, and the Biden administration, including Biden himself,
Yes.
encouraged it.
Yep.
Where's the accountability there, guys?
Yes.
A bunch of people said you were talking about Maxine Waters.
Maxine
You were
Waters.
talking about Lori Lightfoot.
Lori Lightfoot is another one, but Maxine Waters. They look like sisters. Actually,
Mary Whitney says, "Good-looking pop ad." By the way.
Oh,
thanks appreciate
Mary.
that. Yep.
But yeah, Maxine Waters, crazy Maxine Waters, incites things all the time when she opens up her mouth.
Oh yeah, AOC is the same way. She AOC by herself is a good reason to have a pop. A pop squad.
Yeah.
Pissed Off Patriot squad. The thing she says is so dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny. They go after Trump for something that he really didn't even incite. He actually said peacefully about 1,000 times in his speech. He said it many, many times.
I love the way he says legally.
Yeah,
Legally.
he says legally and peaceful. He actually said that multiple times in his speech. He did say you have to fight for your right, but everybody says you have to fight for X. It just means that you do something. It means to physically go out and fight. And
we're not.
And
children.
then you have
you can
Biden.
You can
and
differentiate between the two.
You have Biden and his press secretary saying that they encourage people to go out, and they did say peacefully protest, but they encourage people to go out and protest in front of these judges' houses, even though it's against the law.
Yeah,
it's legally encouraging someone to break the law on national television. Where's the accountability for that? All I hear is crickets on that one.
Well, that's nothing to see here. Nothing
exactly.
They're just exercising their First Amendment. And then what they bring it back to is, well, what about January 6th?
Oh, exactly. Did Oregon ever figure out who started the Riverside Beachy Creek fires of 2020? I haven't seen anything about that, but that's a good question. We can find out if there's been anything on that. But last I heard, there was no suspects.
And it says Chuck Schumer instigated the Antifa protest. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he did. Pelosi encouraged Antifa too, as well. Yeah, I remember a couple of statements they made.
Yeah.
Back with Soros' money.
Absolutely.
Yep. And it's, honestly, that's the biggest thing is, of all things, as me as a taxpayer and as a voter that I want in my representatives, it's transparency and accountability. But the thing is, the representatives don't want that, because when you are transparent and you are accountable to your actions, then you have to give up the power that you hold as a representative. If you're going to be accountable to things you do, you can't abuse that power. Mm-hmm. So basically, that's why they don't want accountability to it, because then they can try to abuse that power. So that's the thing is, things with the government, things should never be done in the dark. I mean, except for things like actual matters of national security, or things by law that are required to be done behind closed doors, like negotiation of real estate property and things like that.
Yeah.
Everything else should be open. Should be open, publicly discussed, should be very transparent, very accountable, should make perfect sense to someone looking at it, and there should never be the question of what's actually going on here.
Yeah.
So,
I know we're going to I don't want to open up too many cans of worms, because we are getting close to that being done. But now let's go back a little bit. Okay. As a public figure, how much, though, are we responsible, or I should say you, as a public figure, responsible for putting out the right speech to not incite certain things?
Yeah. I am accountable for, as a public figure, you are accountable for your words. Anyone's accountable for their words, really. But at the same time, there's a limitation of what's freedom of speech, what's actually inciting. Do you never want to go tell someone, hey, you should go out and burn something down, or you should go out and do something,
or choke a Democrat?
Yeah. Well,
we're not talking about choking him, but yes.
Yeah, you can be metaphorical, but at the end, everybody is accountable for their own actions. Mm-hmm. Words are words until someone, and they don't become more than that until someone puts it to action. So, and there's always going to be that select few. There's a group out there. They're going to take something while you say, no matter how careful you say it, they might take it and they might run with it the wrong way. People need to be held accountable to their own actions and stop blaming other people for it. Yeah, something can be said that can be misconstrued and taken out of context. We saw that a while back in a story I'm not going to bring up. But nonetheless, people themselves that cause the problems need to be held accountable to those actions. There's laws that say if you catch something on fire, that's arson, you're going to go to jail for it. You break something, you're going to go to jail for vandalism. You kill somebody, you're going to go to jail for murder. Don't blame those actions on somebody else because you went and did them. That person that did it should be held accountable.
Yes.
And guess what? If more people were held accountable for their own actions, there'd be a lot less crime in this world. Guarantee it.
Yep. One more thing I'll say, speaking of being responsible for actions, we are fair on this show, and you know that. I am highly against BLM. I always have been. I believe it's a terrorist organization, and I believe that they are capable of harm. On the other side of that, in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, there were a couple of visitors, 31 of them in a truck, from a group that was looking to do harm to a pride venue. Because we are public figures, we have that same, everywhere we go, we have that same responsibility to say this. If you're going somewhere to hurt a group of people that aren't bothering you, you need to be in jail.
Exactly. That's the thing is, if you want to protest or counter-protest, that's perfectly legal. do it peacefully, and do it respectfully.
Yeah.
It's actually in our Constitution that the people have the right to petition their government peacefully. The word peacefully is in there.
Right.
So, by all means, protest if you want to protest. You have something you want to protest. But do it legally, do it peacefully, and do it respectfully.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and if you go and you seek to harm people, no matter who you are,
should be held accountable.
Then you should be held accountable.
Exactly. We have some comments in here. I'm just waiting for the. There you go. Get rid of Soros, then no more money. Yeah. Well, Soros is getting up there in age, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Are y'all going to push the vote in November? Well, I think everybody should go out and vote in November, and obviously, no. But November's a long ways away, so as we get closer, we'll push it a little bit more. But we still have, like 5 months.
Right. But are we going to push it?
Well, yeah, of course, we'll be talking about the vote. And stuff.
Some of you guys need to come on our show.
I'm really going to try to get I'm going to try to get Christine Drazen on. I'm going to try to get Ben West on. I'll get some of the other local.
Bro, I think our viewers want that.
Yeah, they've been requesting it. And so I'll reach out to Christine, see if she can get to come on for a show. I know as she gets closer and closer that she's traveling a lot, so it may not be as easy. Mm-hmm. And we are working really hard to get our remote interview software up and running. It takes equipment and time, and so and there's only so much of that for me in a day. But once we get that up, in case we can't get her,
get it done. Stop whining.
In case we can't get her here in the studio, then we will try to get her a call in for her. So.
Awesome. The Dems don't seem to be accountable. They tell their constituents to do all sorts of garbage. Yep, they do.
Yes, exactly. They tell them to do all sorts of different things. They encourage them, and then they don't hold them accountable. Yeah. In my opinion, Betsy Johnson is a lifelong Democrat and is running as an independent as a spoiler to pull votes from Drazen so that the Dems retain power. And that's the biggest thing. We need to get that out there. Is that if you want to see change, the definition of crazy, not definition of crazy.
Insanity.
Thank you. Definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. So if you want something different than what you've seen in Portland and Oregon over the last 40 years, and especially over the last 4 years, then you need to put someone in there that thinks differently and it has a different response. By putting a Republican into the office, you will get a different response. But if you put another Democrat or another person just like Kate Brown or worse, you're going to get the same or worse than we had in the last 4 years or over the last 40 years.
40 years.
Putting a Republican in there this time, give them a chance. Vote for it. If you don't like them in 4 years, they'll be gone. But if we keep going down the road we've been for the last 4 years, in 4 years, we're not going to have a state. If we put the other side in 4 years, we might be able to fix some things that have been broken. Trust me, for once, they take a chance and put a Republican in there and see how good they can do.
It's time for a red wave.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There needs to be a sweep.
Yeah. Can we protest high gas prices?
Yes, you can protest high gas prices. And we have a really good sponsor you can go buy a sign from. So, to do so, they can get away with murder. Get rid of these terrorists that funds them. Yeah, they can get away with murder, but so can good God, my brain just went.
I know, that happened to me tonight, you guys. Bipartisan.
It's on the ground.
Yes.
No. Good golly, the Clintons. The Clintons get away with murder all the time. So as soon as somebody's there to testify against them, suddenly they either end up dead or disappear.
They just disappear.
There's a conspiracy theory.
Well, maybe not. So thanks for a great show, BWB.
Oh, I appreciate this so much. Yeah, and we actually are coming up on the end of our show right now. So, hey, our viewers know when we come to the end of our show, and I really appreciate the viewership tonight and the comments and the interactions.
Yeah,
we really count on you guys to actually make this show and to give us some content. Last show we had the mayor, or Sean Drinkwine, our occasional guest host on here.
Yes,
and it was a great last half of the show. Kind of feel like we're missing somebody now.
The middleman.
Missing the middleman.
Hi, Joel. Hi. Oh! No, I'm Joel.
Yeah,
I'm Joel, and
hello.
You are.
I'm Tony.
Wow, let's switch sides.
Hello, I'm Tony. No, I don't know what to do on that side. It confused me.
No, right. It's kind of weird, wasn't it? No, yeah. We always.
It's really
love
dark over there.
It is dark over there. Are you saying I'm dark? He said it's really dark over here, folks. He's cutting up.
It feels dark.
Wow.
It feels dark over there.
Ooh.
Maybe I couldn't see myself on the TV too long.
Ooh. Uh-oh. Hey,
Wait, are you calling me white?
Are you calling me black? I am black. You are white.
I hope you all go red. It's so nice out here in Tennessee. Church
What?
every mile. Hey, shout out to Tennessee
Shout
out
out
there.
to Tennessee.
Hey, Tennessee whiskey, right?
Tennessee whiskey.
Yes,
I just want to say that.
Don't get him singing again.
Oh, no.
Sweet.
You have a mute for that mic, right?
Strawberry wine. I just saw it
Let
say.
me turn it on.
Oh!
We just got censored by our producer.
Hey, I'm going to give a concert. But hey, speaking of that, Jessie Lee. Jessie Lee is blowing it up, folks. Don't forget.
Yeah, Jessie Lee is a local hometown star.
Yeah, I was
And
auditioning
she's
for her.
been blowing it up all over the place. In fact, I think you're going to be singing with her at Jazz Fest.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I get a chance to sing a song with her there. And actually,
A famous star.
a while back, she wrote us a jingle for our show, and we still have to kind of get with her to get that finalized and get it on here. But
Look, she's so big time now, you're going to probably need to talk to her agent.
yeah,
Talk to her agent first.
we're really looking forward to when that finally gets finalized and gets over here. We're going to put that on. That'll be our new jingle for when the show starts.
I like Jessie Lee because what you see is what you get. Like,
Exactly.
If you see her on stage and then she steps down off stage, that's the same person. The same person.
Exactly. And she's the one that got us addicted to Wednesday tacos.
She got me addicted to. Well, I've always loved country music, but she got me addicted to country music too.
Oh, did
She
she?
was a part of that too. Yeah.
I thought it was me and my good taste.
You do have good taste. You do.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. We talked about all sorts of different things tonight. We talked about the Oregon Health Socialist program they're putting in place there.
We talked about Biden's bunker.
Yeah, Biden's bunker.
What's another one?
We talked about the moron for a press secretary we have out there that has trouble reading or remembering nothing.
We talked about what to do during a recession or how to prepare yourself for a recession.
How to prepare and save some money and everything else. And we talked a little bit about some local stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Community watch.
The community watch. Yeah.
Remember, if you want to be a part of the solution, there's plenty of opportunity because we have a lot of people that want to be part of the problem.
Yes. And remember, wise advice. If you want to be part of the solution, don't be part of the problem.
Ooh.
That's deep.
That's
so
deep right there. I'm going to let that go.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. I don't believe there is a recession, even though I believe there's a recession.
Oh.
Biden.
Okay.
Special quote.
You going to be joining the High Council while you're at it?
Can I say it?
Probably not.
Shoot. Okay, never mind.
It's not like someone suggested we have a pot council or something like that. Okay, have a good night, guys. We'll see you guys on next weekend. Don't forget tomorrow's show.
Yay!
Campfire discussion, 7 p.m. with Brandy.
All right.
Have a good
High on
night,
life.
guys.
High on life.
Yeah, man.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, see you guys later.
Bye, guys.